Hey guys, I thought I would record a mood update. It's been 2 months and how many? Like 13 days that I've been taking Escitalopram, 10 milligrams. And when I look back at the moods that I was in before the antidepressants, I think it was a great decision for me to go onto the pill. However, I won't say that it has fixed all the issues for me. I will talk about them now, and main message is that I still get better days and sometimes worse days. I have installed on my phone the app called Pixie. 1 second. How do I show the? So the Pixie app, where you can see, depending on the color, how I would rank the days. If they were good days, it's green. If they were worse, they would go into the gray. And then if it's really bad, then it's red color. So I'm tracking my mood because I'm going to see my psychiatrist on Saturday. So in 6 days, and if you are someone who struggles with mental health, seeing a psychiatrist, seeing your doctor, seeing a therapist is such a relief. I know, okay, next week I'm going to have an opportunity to ask if my dynamics is good, if my treatment should be adjusted, and just take his my doctor's take on it. And I really think he's competent. As I said in the previous video, he's a little bit suspicious about the euphoric states that I sometimes get, and those states I would describe as just states of high activities, of big hopes and actions, and it's something that people with bipolar report when having hypomania or mania episodes. Well, I didn't really have urge to, do something crazy that I would regret, but I do notice how different I feel on such days and the thoughts that I'm getting. So that's something that I'm going to update you on after I have a visit to my psychiatrist. So good days, bad days, but overall the edge is off. So I no longer have the days where I would cry 3 times a day. I didn't stop crying at all, which is good because I was a little bit concerned about how, like, if my nervous system was just completely numbed or could I actually feel emotions. And the good news is that I could still feel sadness. Let's say if I had to say goodbye to someone and that I would know that I wouldn't see in a long time, like I would get sad. And before, when I was depressed or anxious, I actually didn't have any emotions because I was so preoccupied with my horrible moods. And I would just be sad, but for wrong reasons. Like I was sad because I felt hopeless and helpless, and not so much and not so much because of the bad news itself. So the edge is definitely off. I can feel like my old personality is coming back with my distinguished features, something that really makes me who I am, like makes me who I am. Today I had an relatively active day. I woke up, I felt like my battery, if you imagine the battery loaded to 100%, and that is like the maximum, mine was 30, which is a lot. You have to understand, I lived on the mode of like empty battery or 5%, and sometimes owing myself energy and going minus for a long, long time, which I would not recommend anyone to do. It's something to be avoided. It's really not good to exhaust your resources so much that you actually owe yourself energy. So mine was like 30%, and a friend of mine messaged me asking if I wanted to go to the skating rink. And today is 4th of no, 5th of January. And I thought I should say yes, because like I try to keep a balance between saying yes and having my privacy, because when I'm home, I recharge, but I also don't want to stay home all the time, because I want to challenge myself. I want to put myself in the settings which I used to avoid, to show myself that actually I'm capable of normal things. I'm capable of, going into crowded places and have fun, hopefully. And so I said yes, and I was pretty excited, which was amazing, because usually I would not be able to wait to be home. Like, it just felt like it would feel such activities like a chore, like something to be crossed off the list and enjoy peace afterwards. So I actually was happy that I was kind of looking forward to this, not really exhilarated. And then I called the cab. So usually I try to not go by cab everywhere, because obviously that's expensive. But I understood, okay, it's gonna be like 1 hour for me getting there, two different transports. No, I'm just gonna call the cab and pay for the comfort and extra sleep, which I got napping before meeting with my friend. And so I arrived, and it was like and actually, when I was in a cab, I was a little bit anxious, and I had to call my grandmother, because I promised her that I would call. And I felt bad because I hadn't called her back, and I was sitting, and it was actually for me the time, like a free time that I have to be able to call her. But I'm sitting there, and like I don't want to call. It's like a taxi driver. I feel exposed. I feel like everyone, like the taxi driver is going to listen to me. I'm probably not going to be in a great mood, and I would rather just sit. And I sat a little bit anxious. It happens to me that before I go to meet someone, I get a little bit of anxiety. Now a little. Before it would be a lot. And I basically sat there just unhappy that I couldn't even call my grandmother, because I just felt like I was not in a great shape. And when I arrived, and I met with my friend, it was okay. I didn't get like this tense feeling like, oh no, now I'm trapped. Now I have to like be social, be happy, show that I'm fine. Like, I had maybe like 5% of that out of 100, but you have to understand, for me, even meeting up with friends was so much pressure before, that it would get my anxiety out of proportion. It would really launch my anxiety. Um, I did see that I was faking smile at some situations, and I hate that. I hate these insincere smiles. But I try to be easy on myself and say, well, first of all, it's scientifically proven that if you even make yourself smile, your brains don't make a difference. They don't distinguish if that's for a reason or not, and they release endorphins. And I thought, okay, well, at least I'm going to release endorphins. I want to be smiling because I am relaxed and happy, but it is what it is for now. It's going to get better. So something that I'm really positive about now is that I will find the treatment that is going to work perfect for me. It might take time. It might not be the method that or the treatment that I'm getting now. But if it's going to get bad, there is a solution. It's something that I became confident in, and it's the thought that I like to be reminded of anytime I feel like, oh no, oh no, I am not healed. Like, no, no, like I no longer allow that thought to linger in my mind. Um, the skating itself, we had, because I live in Ukraine and we have the air raids, which means that if you're in a public place like a mall or uh, I don't know, let's say a gathering like this, a concert, usually you are asked to go to a shelter. And we were asked out of the skating rink, and we had to leave the skating rink like 10 minutes after we began. So I I wanted to use this chance to say to my friend, like, uh, maybe we should go home. Like when I think you understand what I mean. It's still a lot. Like you're like, okay, we don't have to do this. Um, while the skating was okay, and I will get to it right now. Like I still wanted to sneak my way out of the whole thing and go home. But the air raid was cancelled 20 minutes after, so we decided to go back to the skating rink and continue, which was a great decision because, and here comes the good news. The good news is not only am I satisfied, like now that I'm sitting at home and I am comfortable and cozy, I'm not only satisfied that I went to skate, I am happy and I enjoyed it. I can say that I enjoyed skating, and that feels great, guys. It feels great to be able to say that I had a great time. Yes, it wasn't perfect, but I also only had 30%, remember, of my battery. So I did well. I did well. I'm happy. Could it be better? Yes, it could be. It will be. It's just, I want to encourage you guys to not be hard on yourself. If you have a day where, you're taking something to help yourself, and it's sometimes and you feel like am I sliding back into the old state, just don't jump to conclusions. Give yourself grace. You are healing. There is a reason why your body is like this. It wants to protect you. My body registered that going to public places, crowded places, is dangerous for some reason, and it might take few times for me to go into such settings, for me to rewrite that scenario in my brains, in my mind. So give yourself grace and remember that healing is not linear. It's sometimes linear and sudden for some people and good for them. Bless their heart. Mine probably won't be. And setbacks are also part of it. Another thing I wanted to quickly touch on is being a little bit annoyed. Annoyed, like I don't identify as a bitter person. I think no one does. Who actually goes around saying that, oh, I am a bitter bitch or I am a mean person. I think everyone likes to have a more or less positive image of themselves. But from what I heard, from the feedback that I received from people, is that I'm a nice person. And I think the pills make me question a lot of things. Like the veil that what has been in front of my eyes has fallen. 2 years of anxiety and depression, me being in survival mode, in the freeze mode, like I didn't question, I didn't use critical thinking, and now I have the luxury to to be skeptical. And right now I'm having lots of existential questions about God and religion, and things of importance, frankly, because I used to put so much capital into it, so much energy into it. And I am a little bit like, when it comes to having like calls with my mom, for example, it used to be that I didn't want her to call because I felt like I couldn't be that happy daughter, and she would get upset, and it was hurtful for me to not be able to live up to her expectations of me having a good mood and being healthy and whatever. Like, I wanted her to know that I'm fine. And today when she called, I was just a little bit like bored, and bored, annoyed, kind of bored. And it even was like, I think she sensed that, and our conversation went flat and ended fast. And I had started to feel guilt. And I called her back and I said, "Look, I'm sorry. I feel like I didn't really pay much attention. Like, let's talk." And we talked, and I made up for like it's not a snappy conversation, but I made up for the lack of just my presence. And when I came from the skating rink home, and again, I took a taxi because I wanted to alleviate the struggle of going home by public transport. And I was just laying on the couch and posting some pictures, and my father called me. And my father is someone who is like, he's not very fast. Like, he's not, and I love my father so much, but I was like, no, no, you're gonna be nice, you're gonna be nice. But, and I was okay, I was nice, but maybe, they sensed that I was like a little bit like annoyed or something. And but then I didn't really beat myself up for it, because I was polite. I was. It's nothing that I have to apologize for. It it's just happens that I had been a different person for so long, like the shell of myself for so long, and now I'm coming back into how I know myself, and I'm picking up some of the flaws or some of the things that before I could not afford to have. I was always so anxious, and now I am like, I'm different. I am freer now. So it's like a side effect of being healed. Maybe you are such a saint person and holy person, but that when you are healed, you're going to just exude joy and happiness, and butterflies are going to spring around you and fly around you. And that's amazing. I would love to be such a person, but that's the reality. Um, I think that's it for today. I don't even know what I'm going to call this video, like mood update, 2 months and what, 14 days. If you guys have questions about whatever, let me know in the comments. I look forward to getting some feedback to my videos. I'm just starting. This is a new channel. I don't know how you find it and where I will be at when you find it, but please still comment, give me your feedback. It really would support me and give me motivation to do further videos. So I hope that you will have peace and optimism, and you are on the right way to the healing. That's it, guys. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.